Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, boys and girls, children of all ages, once again, round here, it's shoot. More blueprints. We will not have blueprints tomorrow. We might have it again on Wednesday. Then we're done for a while with blueprints. I doubt I will finish it in time. A friend of mine finished the game last night, and it took him, I believe, like 45 in-game days. And I'm at like 20 or 21 or 22? 21, yeah. So, assuming my time scale's like his, I'm about halfway done with the game. I think I'm further than that, though. What I can determine. Let's run over to this. Have I got all of the rooms out of here? I think I have now, but I'm not certain. The shrine. I've gone in, I think, but I haven't gone in with any gold. I should have grabbed my allowance. Alright, well, try and keep in mind. Beneficial. Ooh, that'll last several days. Okay. We'll keep that in mind. We get some gold, maybe a bunch more gold, and we're getting close to the end of the day. Hopefully we'll have enough footsies to get us outside. Throw ourselves a blessing that can last more than one day, eh? Be nice. Alright, our allowance is waiting for us. Should be 3 now. We're rich, guys. We are rich. Filthy rich. Okay, just filthy. Pantry, closet, or den? Den will be... fine. We have a gem. Quick look around that we're not missing anything else. We have a white pawn in here. Need to start writing this stuff down. White pawn, den. I thought that the coins would be, or the coins, the chess pieces would be associated with the location in the house. They are instead associated with specific rooms. Laboratory, we have no items, so there's no use in going in there. The funeral parlor would only give us 1 gem. Oh, the nook. This is a good start layout-wise. Chapel sucks, but it does have 2 doors. Breaker box is important, though. We want to set that up right now. Gymnasium's off, garage is on, dark room is on. Good evening to whomever has joined me. Hope your week is off to a not sucking start. Kitchen, storeroom, or closet. And we're going to cut ourselves off. I'm willing to take that chance. The closet, I think. We have a reroll die, and I assume a regular key, not the silver key. Oh, silverish. It's the silver key. Alright. That was worth. Indoor corridor. parlor, we have no red rooms yet. The commissary, items for sale. 3 gold. Office, opportunity to earn and spread monies. Let's go with the office. There is also, we know that there is a I want to see if I can find some information here in the room to help me out with the combination. There are 5 lines. One of them is red. Oh no, one of them is black. Flight of the Queen, March of the Count, Fall of the Lord. Check with any of the books matching this title. March of the Count, 5235. Guesswork. Now, we have there. Antechamber lever is broken, right? Four, 2, 3, 4. I'm dubious. Nope. And that's the only thing I can... Yeah, that's the actual time in game time. Passing of the Barons, Herrings of the Major. Or Hearings of the Major. Hey there. You're wondering why one book title is in black while the other 4 in red? Generally... at least if we're going to believe a note we've seen, things in red are false, which is why I went to the black one first. That's not necessarily always the case, but in this case, that's why I went with 5, 2, 3, 4. As for the books, there are places where some books have a function or a meaning, but they usually have words on the spine to help you figure out the meaning. I still don't know what statues of fingers mean. Well, if it was one specific finger, I would know what that meant. Sometimes you get a little bit of that from this game, that sometimes it does feel like it's kind of giving you the finger. Yeah, so I don't know if you were around. A friend of mine finished the game off last night, late last night. Is this other drawer openable? No. I'm on day 21. He finished it up on day 45. That's in-game turns, basically. Well, I was hoping to find what we were looking for. I have failed yet again. How about the computer? How about I use the dumb computer? Run payroll. Payroll's already been run for this week. This is the soft sort of game you'd never finish. Yeah, well, tomorrow is Guild Wars 2, and Super Adventure Box is coming back into the game for a couple weeks, so I'll be playing that tomorrow. Wednesday, probably back here. Then after Thursday, I'm shot for quite a while. Thursday is Last Epoch. Friday is Defiance and probably more Last Epoch, but also a game I have wish listed. It goes into early access, Lost Skies. And that's going to take me for some length of time. And then the 23rd, just, I don't know, a couple of days after that, is another early access game that I will be buying called Rail Gods of Hystera. So when I'll be playing this, I don't know. On stream, doubtful, but not necessarily. No. Spread gold in the estate. Yes, I would like to spread gold in the estate. Spread it everywhere. A number of gold coins have been withdrawn from the staff incentives program. Hey, they're all laid off. I don't care. Log into the network. I don't think any of the other computers are up, so I can't do their functions from here. Fortunately, this will allow me to connect with hot single women and MILFs in my area. Special order. I would like to place a special order. Of a brass compass. I approve of this order. Remote terminal access, right? Not possible because none of the others are on. Good luck in finding the room containing the, yes, the hot women in my area. I have faith there, clearly, in my area. All right, I have read all of these. Is one of these the code we're looking for? I don't know. And Babbage. Let's see. You left me instructions following week. Critical plans. And Babbage. Our infusion box. That's the correct functionality. Right, we had to turn that. This is where we got the information we needed to get access to turning on the power, the full power to the building. This is from our lawyers about changing our estate. Well, my great uncle changing. And this is the fuse box repairs, the VAC indicator lights. I wouldn't expect any of these to be the code because there's no tie between us and the safe here. So I'm not going to bother to write them down and try them all out. I don't think any data transfers are possible, correct? Glossary of terms is a glossary of the terms for the game, so it can give you some helpful hints. Was there another option we missed? Boop. I mean, maybe if I had the magnifying lens, I could see if there's numbers on that. But I don't think so. I believe that's a picture. Oh, money was randomly distributed out in the entire area, so we'll grab that. Interesting. I have noticed before, but its numpad is missing some numbers. Also, it's backwards. I'm going to try just in a complete and utter stab in the dark, because it's what I've got. It had to be tried. Those numbers that are not on the phone. Let's open a door. The chapel is going to steal gold from me. You may draw new floor plans while drafting in this room. Go with this one. Sure. Another safe. Gold on the desk. Staff don't need incentives. Yeah, they've all been laid off, so it's all mine. We have another staff now, or another safe. My guessing on safes is that there should be clues within the room. Because otherwise, there's a whole bunch of safes, and otherwise, how would we know what might apply? Which numbers to try? But I don't see anything. Alright, we can redraw these if we choose to. The courtyard. Really very good. The pantry, we can do a redraw for free because we're in the drawing room, you know. But just once. The chapel rears its ugly head again. The billiard room is a dead end. Oh, God, no. We have no gems. That leaves us with... Oh, this does... Well, it does do something for us. Oh, billiard room. Why did you go that way? Alright, but we will not go in yet. We'll go in through here. Well, pantry, storeroom is a dead end, or observatory. We want either the pantry or the observatory. Pantry's got more money and a food item. Let's go with the pantry. $3 for the orange? $5 for the orange. Security. Yes, security will be fine. I don't have any gems. Security would not be fine, evidently. Funeral parlor will get me... should get me 2 gems. Unless I screw it up, in which case I will lose 30 stepsies. 30 footsies. No more gold running around in anywhere here, so give me the key. All right, we have... The gems are in the white box. Statements with the word white are always true. That would mean that both of those were true. The statement on the white box is true. No, it's not. Wait, yes, it could be. No. Because the statements with the word white are always true. Gems are in the white box. Statement on the white box is true. We can't have all statements be true because that's against the rules. There's always one lie. So this one is false. Statement on the white box is true. No, it's false. False, false. So this one is true. So the gems are in the white box. 2 gems, please. I have to admit, I do get nervous now when I'm opening these. Hallway. I don't have the gems. I'm a gem shy. I'm just shy little gem. We're going to have to go with the hallway. Use a key. I only have 1 key. I have 2 keys. I have the silver and the regular. We don't want to use the silver there. That means we just have 1 regular. So we'd rather... Billiard room would be okay. Spare room would get us into the foundation, which is always going to be good. We're going to take that. That gives us access to the foundation like that. The garage. 3 keys. That seems pretty good. I was informed that there is a safe in the boudoir, which I have never found. I have gotten my garage before, and there's no real advantage other than the 3 keys. So I'm going to go with the boudoir, which gives us 2 more rerolls. That's the one I hadn't seen. I hadn't come around far enough. I'd come around to here, seeing that there was nothing here, but I hadn't seen that. Cinca. Well, we haven't tried on this, so we've got a number of combinations we can try. So I'm going to try them. We have... Okay. We're going to clear 02117. Very unlikely. Clear 2765. 14227. None of those were particularly likely. Now we've got some possibilities, some actual possibilities. Probably not this one. 4, 5, 2, 9, 2. 1, 2, 1, 3. 9083. Probably never going to work for anything. And 1128, the only code I've ever used that worked, it opened up the Apple Orchard. Nope. None of those work. So it's another safe that I have not found the key to opening yet. What is the... Count small gates. 8 dates. Crack 8 safes. They're looking for dates. They're looking for specific dates. I hadn't realized that until now. Where do I have any dates written down? There. Sometimes I'm just a dumb. 1126. No, that was yesterday's date. I need to start writing down dates. All right. Note to self, I need to start writing down dates for everything. There's a coded message in the room. And the coded message is in each row. So it's count small gates, 8 dates crack 8 safes. So count small gates. I'm not sure about that, but the rest of it is 8 dates crack 8 safes. And that's pretty clear that the keys to opening them. And the one we have opened was opened with was opened with something that turned out to be a date. We're going to use our key. Yes. I'm unenthused about it. There we are. The dining room will be decent. No, we can't eat there yet because you have to get to this rank of cells before dinner is served. So the key to the code was things like this. You have a tube and a tub. So this room right here is an E. And that's how you figure out the map code. Oh, come on. That's just rude. This has not been a particularly good run today, I have to say. The pool will take 1. Bedroom will give us a couple of footsies. The gym we can do now because we turned off the lights in the gym so it doesn't cost us the 2 extra. Look at this gym. This gym, it's such a loser. Oh, eat a bag of potato chips. I was going to say potato chips. Need to buy this game just to encourage a sequel. It's a weird game. It's a very strange game. I think a lot of people might not even consider it a game. More of a very, very deep puzzle with game elements. Passageway. The bunker. We gotta go with the passageway. We need more doors. We need more doors. Not more door. More door is bad. Locked. Also locked? Alright, since this one is also locked, I'm going to have to use my special key. Special keys are more likely to give multiple exit rooms, so this is hopefully going to give us more exits. Actually, before we try that, we'll see if we can get... Hey, this one's open. Security. Didn't we already hit security? No, we didn't have gems. We don't have gems now. Coat check. The detector shovel. We're going to get the detector shovel. We used to only have a shovel or a detector, or both, but now we have a single item, the detector shovel. Which means we can head back a couple of footsies and have a couple of dig sites in here. Hopefully we can get keys. No diggy over there. Diggy, diggy hole. Coins. Okay. Hoping for keys. The broken lever. Well, I know where I need to use that. That's the greenhouse. We don't have a greenhouse yet. Don't know. Oh, would you stop? Silver key. The archives. The cloister. Don't have the gems. Cannot see floor plans while drafting. In which case we can head back to the utility closet, which is all the way at the start, and turn on the light in here. That's a card key. So we can do 2 things if we go back to the security room. Going to take some footsies, obviously. We can turn off the card key so that when the power is off, that'll turn the power back on. Right. Locked. Of course it's locked. Why wouldn't it be locked? Can't use the other one. Our options are running rather slim and slender now. Of course. We are just about out of luck. This one locked? It was. Alright, we're here. Since we're heading all the way back to the entrance hall, whether we like it or not anyway, we'll be going to the utility closet first. We're burning through our footsies today, guys. Oh. More of that distribution of gold. Still more of that distribution of gold. See what happens when all the servants just quit. get rich. Never had this much gold before. Okay. It's back on in the dark room. Oh. We don't have a key, so if we turn off the keycard entry system and we pull off the power to that room, we can go through. Crap. If we turn on the power, we might find something in there because you can only see the objects if the lights are on. But if the power's off, I should be able to go through the keycard. I think we've got to leave it off. No. Because we didn't set... Right, that's correct now. Do I still have an open door from the main entry? Yes, I do. That's where we're headed right now. No, it's not where we're headed just yet. I have a bunch of money. I'm going to try and spend some or all of it in the shrine, since I've never spent money in the shrine before, and get myself a blessing for the next day, at least. I don't think we're going to have a whole bunch of more stuff open up in front of us. How does 20 sound? The blessing of the high roller. Each time you draft a shop room, gain a reroll, gain 5 extra gold each time you roll a reroll. Blessing duration is 4 days. All right. I think it starts for today. I'm a high roller, guys. We've got rerolls. We're not going to be shy about using them. Weight room is going to steal half of my footsies. Which we don't have that many of, but we can't afford. Combined inventory to create new items in the workshop. We only have the detector shovel and the broken lever. I'm going to redraw. That was not helpful. I'm going to redraw. I got more gold. Security. Security is not going to be helpful, except that I can turn off the card key access. And now the card key door should be open. I'm going to keep one reroll alive. I have no gem. I can't do that. That means the only option is to redraw. We do not have a pass-through here. We do not have gems. We can only do the wine cellar to give us a gem. 3 gems, really. We have 20 gold. Wine cellar. 1213. I know I wrote that down. And I don't think I used it. Yeah, I did. I did write it down, and I did use it. It is a date. That is 1213. Doesn't this seem like a kind of place that ought to have a hidden safe somewhere? Doesn't seem to. Bride and Bridge. This room's letter is G. I'm gonna see if we can make another shrine donation because we're out of doors. Maybe I can donate 15, and can you stack blessings? Will it allow you to stack? Is it going to eat my previous blessing? I don't know. Kind of like that one. Take back the gold. Better not. Okay, so you can't throw a second at it. Yeah, we're done. It's time for a brand new day. We'll call it a day. It was a very unsuccessful day. I got too ambitious heading north. That's the problem. You kind of want to futz around in the lower end to get more stuff. So a relatively small number of rooms, mostly blue, so we get a rustic villa. 22 rooms, rank 7, 64 steps, 3 items. Save and continue. Day 22. 8 a.m., bright and shiny. I am neither bright nor shiny, I'll have you know. We'll head to the room. See what we've got today. If it's the shrine, we won't take the shrine for fear we'll overwrite what we have for the next 3 days of blessing. The shelter protects you from the negative effects of the next 3 red rooms crafted. Rooms in your house are more likely to contain dig spots today. Each time you draft a dead end, spread 5 gold in the tomb. That's an interesting one. Hey, Vorp. Yeah, the coat check is the item check, I believe. Each time we draft a dead end. We don't want to draft a lot of dead ends. Not sure if I've been into the tomb otherwise. I think once before. The tomb. Hold on, I need to get out my map. See my map? We have catacombs, torch chamber, the gear, the reservoir, fountain entrance, cliffside exit. I would assume the tomb should meet up with the catacombs, wouldn't you? Oh, maybe I haven't been down here before. This must be Grand Uncle. Open only in the event of my death. Simon, so here's where it all ends, at least for me. And all the picturesque places of this grand estate, I chose this dreary, dank dungeon to be laid to rest. And that same dim, somber fate fell upon my father and his father before him, who loved the outdoors even more than myself. They say there is no stronger bird of servitude than tradition, and family tradition thrice as strong. These are chains that seldom bend and never break. And I do wonder what plans and prospects of yours will be sacrificed upon the family font of convention. What biography of your own will you forsake to add another page to your father's memories, or your mother's, or mine? In our youth, we are gifted with dreams and ambitions. At our death, we are left with realities and regrets. I think there is no greater sin than to perpetuate tradition that stagnates growth, that strangles purpose, that suffocates dreams. What point is there to live another's life at the sake of our own? Oh, how I wish to have been buried underneath the great oak overlooking the plains, the wondrous woods and the worldly mountains, and the wild holly that surrounds that trunk, a perpetual token of sympathy laid across my grave. What dreadful tradition is it that dumped me in this sunless hollow? And if by morbid example this dark crypt makes any impression whatsoever on you, if reading this letter within these damp halls plants in you a seed of hope, if these words might grant you strength to bend, if not break, these chains, then would I cherish this tomb more than oak, and sycamore and spruce. More than the wondrous woods and worldly mountains, this cold stone room would become the most cherished place in all our domain. I would have you raise a shrine upon this spot to commemorate the moment of your liberty, to treat this sepulchre as hallowed ground, to realize that grand gestures can be as effective as they are theatric. And so, in turn, as recompense for freedom thus granted you, commit yourself to be buried here within this mausoleum of dreams, and when the day comes to write your own letter, to inspire the next generation that follows in our footsteps, as is tradition. Herbert S. Sinclair. I'm gonna cry. That looks like it might be something. It does not seem to be. This is the sort of place where you need to check the torches, you know. Put the torch back. That's an old guy movie reference. Check every little last nook and cranny or crook and nanny. Like that. That appears to have done something. Maybe. Mic volume seems lower than usual compared to the game. I'll move the mic closer and try to turn it up. That's jacked all the way up. Microsoft. Their sound software's always been shit. Alright. That's 2 of them. Just a quick check to see if anything's opened up. Got at least one more. Got another relatively new tomb. At least it seems new. No idea who it is. Happens to you randomly. Level setting is never 100, even when it's set to it. Have to drop it, then pick it back up, force it to reset, annoying as hell. Well, that's fucking Microsoft here. Tell me, does this? I'm gonna hold a note and tell me if this lowers. Did that go down and then back up, volume-wise? Not really. Each of our journeys comes to conclusion here in the tomb. This floor plan is the definitive dead end. Or is it? Dead end is in red. Dead end, red usually means something isn't true. We have 3 lit candles and 3 unlit in a 4x4. I'm betting that is specifically which of the arms have to be bent. But I'm guessing on that. That's where we came down. So, have we yoinked every... We've not yoinked every. need to see how many there are. Okay, starting from our uncle's place. We have one statue. Two statues. This one's been knocked over. Three statues. Four statues. Five statues. Five statues around the outside. The inside makes six. I know. I feel certain there's something else I can do in here. Let me check the map. This might be the catacombs, in which case basically straight across from where we came in, which is here, there should be a door out somewhere over here. So I'm going to start along the outside and make sure that all the statues have been pulled. Pardon the phrase. 1. I've got it. I've got it. The pictures in the chapel, the stained glass windows. Maid, chef, farmer. Okay, this is the hoer, pardon the phrase. So this one's going to have to be down. I got it. I figured it out. I can't say I'm smart, but I think I figured it out. The baker, I think, is one of them. Hoer, chimney sweep, equestrian, farmer, chef. The chef, yeah. The chef is one of them. Now there's also... I'm going to reset all of them to being up. Thing is, there's a reason, there's a numerical order to them, and I assume I have to do it in the numerical order. So for that, we're going to need them all at the starting position. Assume your starting positions, because each of the pictures on the stained glass window had a Roman numeral. I think that's all of them. Put back into place. The numbers. Did I not write those down? I did. Okay, 1 is the, pardon the phrase, the woman with a hoe. The hoer. That ain't it. I don't know what the hell that is. Woman with the hoe. All right. That's one. Number 2 is the chef. Number 3 is the farmer. I believe that was a pitchfork. Number 4, the chimney sweep. And then 5 is the maid and 6 is the equestrian. Yeah, I thought might be the maid. That's the equestrian. It's not a chimney sweep. Might be the maid? Why would that be the maid unless she's carrying a toilet plunger? That looks like the queen. I want to find the one I'm missing. That's down. Down. So I think... that's the maid. Dusting. No, that's the chimney sweep, if they got the top hat. So we just did farmer. Chimney sweep is 4. 5 is maid. 6 is equestrian. Five maid. 6 equestrian. That was one of the first things I started writing down. This should open a door. Didn't hear anything open. Am I going to be depressed? Well, shit. Oh, and then maybe the queen to open. Please, work. Hear anything. That looks like it ought to be something. Like a door. That was it. I really honestly thought that was it. It's definitely not lowering the arms and not raising. They started raised. But I will certainly try that now. Door near the uncle's message. Now that's the place that I thought looked like a door, but... we will try lowering them in the same order. Ho, pardon the phrase, chef, farmer. Raise the queen. Unless the queen has to come first, which is possible. Because there is, behind the altar, there's another stained glass mirror we can't see. It could be 0. One was Ho. 2 chef, 3 farmer. Ho. No, I'm good with that. If you, because you haven't played, so that's not really a spoiler. That's a guess. You're helping. We're working together. I'm fine with that. Ho. Chef Farmer. Chef. Farmer is the pitchfork. Farmer. Chimney sweep. Maid. Equestrian. Chimney sweep. Maid. Equestrian. Alright, I'm going to start with the queen this time and then try it again. So if the piece behind the altar, which I could never make out, was the queen and 0, theoretically, it should work. Again, theory. Let's see, back to 1. We're Ho, Chef, Farmer. Oh. Chef or baker? Farmer. Chimney sweep, maid, equestrian. Chimney sweep. Maid. Drum roll, please. I thought I heard a faint sound. No. Does not look like it. That's right, there's no map for this area. I haven't checked. I checked previously. I'll check on this one. There is the other sarcophagus. So I had thought might be an entrance. Because it was so noteworthy. Each of our journeys, the floor plan is a definitive dead end. I know you meant in here. Right, and it's lit. Around again and see if I'm missing any other clues or anything that are obvious. Or even unobvious. I'm not too proud. This is where we came in. No words. I generally like the cell shaded style, but it can make making things out sometimes problematic. was sure that was it. Fan of this art style. Love the long dark. Yeah, it was similar. It's an option in Champions Online that I've turned on. Sorry, it's the default? No. It's an option in Champions and an experimental option in City of Heroes, but I always use it because I like it. You're right, the fact that this one is lit does have implications. I am carrying no objects because we're at the start of the day. Okay, well, I'm going to leave this for now. Puzzled that I am. We can come back later. I will see if we can get the chapel and see if we missed it. If I missed anything. If we missed anything in the chapel. They were in a formation of a 4x4. But there was no other sort of... The place itself didn't have that structure. And the statues, as far as I could tell, there were only the 7 of them. So, in this particular case, 7 makes a lot more sense, particularly because it matches the stuff in the chapel. So I'm probably missing something from the chapel. At least that's my working theory. Coat check. Corridor, hallway. Let's use up one of our good tiles. Not a specific formation. There were 4 of them. It wasn't like they were in the corners or anything. The statues are not in a specific pattern that matched it in any way. Okay, we have the kitchen, acquire a gem, or the nook, which will instead give us a key, or the utility closet. Utility closet is always good because we can turn off the gym and turn on the garage. And if necessary, turn off the keycard entry system if we find the security office and turn the default to open. Also trying to keep an eye out for chess pieces in the rooms. Let's see. That's not a bad bedroom. I'm going to go with this bedroom. It'll give us 2 more footsies. And an apple will give us, I think, 2 more footsies. Delicious. Alright, storm. We have 2 dead ends, or the observatory, which will take a gem. But it'll keep this path open. We'll take that. And we now are going to have, I think, 12? 13 stars. And for 13 stars, we get... It's going to be a combination. So, like 7 and 6. Or 8 and 5. We don't have a 6, 8 and 5. Southern Cross will give us more common 4-door rooms. And a key. So I'm going to guess it's probably going to be that. 8 and 5. Yeah, 8 and 5. 8 stars there gets us a key. That makes 4 doors more frequent. The courtyard, it's going to require a gym. The spare room won't. The billiard room. I think I'm okay with the billiard room. That'll give us, should give us 2 keys or the key card, one of the 2. I've only gotten the key card from it once. Every other time I've gotten 2 keys. And the only time I failed it was the first 2 times when I figured out how it worked. So we start with plus 12. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 7 is 12, minus 7 is 5, minus 2 is back to 3. 13 minus 4 is 9, minus 6 is 3, times 3 is 9. 10 plus 11 is 21, minus 20 is 1, times 15 is 15, divided by 1 is 15, divided by 5 is 3. Give me my keys. It's a silver key, so you can get the silver key out of here too. The silver key will unlock a door and lead to a room with many doors. Many meaning, I think, at least 3. The Cloister, 3 gems. Sadly, we don't have the gems for it. The weight room, lose half of your footsies. Drop dead. Thing is, we have to take a room. We don't have to go in, but we have to take it. We'll take the archives. But once while drafting, you'll no longer see all 3 plans. So this is a significant downside. The archive is interesting. Ooh, we got the handle. Now we want to try and find or force the greenhouse. This is a bunch of information about our family that actually has some sort of dark implications about the family. We have a keycard door. You'll note we do not have a keycard. The Great Hall has 7 locked doors. We only have 1 key. The lavatory is a dead end. The archive requires 1. None of those are great options. We're going to go with the Great Hall because we do know some of the functions in it. But we are going to stop here and double back. We don't want to start burning keys because while that room has a lot of doors, they all require keys and they're not all guaranteed to go where you want to go. The weight room, the storeroom, or an archive door plan floor plan that costs 2. We'll go to a dead end. So give us a coin, a key, and a gem, and there's a white pawn in here. White pawn in the storeroom. For the chessboard puzzle. I think those shuffle every day. Which is a dumb, not very good puzzle. Where are we? All right. We are now down to 1 door. The drawing room, the spare room, or the archived floor plan. Spare. Sadly, that little tape dispenser doesn't. We are not in a good place. We have a dead end. Not a dead end. Well, we're going to take the not a dead end for sure. The History of Arindia by Caleb Manning. We'll request that. So the next time we come in here, that'll be waiting for us. Up here, we have some statistics. So far in the game, I have played the game for 19 hours and 10 minutes. 22 in-game days. It took a friend of mine who's, this hurts to say, I hope he's not listening, is brighter than me and better at these sort of puzzles than I am. Took him 45 total game days. You didn't hear that, Mike. Really painful. God, I hope he doesn't watch this. The veranda. Greater chance of finding items in green rooms, or the laundry, which is a dead end. Yeah, we've got to go with this one because everything else ends our day. Doesn't it? Yeah, everything else ends our day, so this is easy. The shovel. I thought that the shovel and because we manufactured the shovel and the metal detector together, I'd assumed that they were always going to be together from now on, but I guess that's not the case. We got some coins. Another hole in the ground. Coins. Closet or den. We'll take the den. That gives us another door. We now have 2 doors and another gem. The weight room, the funeral parlor, or an archive plant. We're going to take the archive plant. All right, who's going to have another key? This one's opening up into a dead end, regardless of what it may say. So, closet will have 2 items. Funeral parlor would have 2 gems. We're going to take the closet. We now have the detector shovel, sort of. And a reroll. Reroll is nice. I don't think it's going to last very long, but it's nice. Door. The commissary will take a gem. The funeral parlor we can use. And as long as I don't screw up the puzzle, we'll get 2 gems because we have 2 red rooms. The logic puzzle awaits. I have missed this only once. So, the other 2 boxes are true. This one has to be false. Because if the other 2 boxes were true, and there always has to be one false, this one is false. So it cannot be true. It is false. The other 2 boxes are blue. This one is also false, so this one is true. The other 2 boxes are empty. Give me my 2 gems. Indoor nursery is no good. The weight room is terrible. I don't want to lose 24 of my 47 footsies. Archive door plan, and we could lose, or we use our 1 redraw. Passageway. We take the passageway. Or the dark room? No, it's got to be the passageway. Alright, we have more doors now. But remember, one does not simply walk into more doors. I have the silver. I have the silver key. Well, this one's locked. If this one's also locked, we'll use the silver key here. It's not locked. But 2 of them are dead ends. It's the laboratory. Or the manufacturing workshop. So once again, I have the battery pack. I don't know what the battery pack is for. Couple of coins on the floor. So, the shovel and the battery pack and the metal detector don't work, but the broken lever does. I know that the metal detector and the shovel work together, but this is the first time I found a use for the battery pack or the broken lever. It makes a jackhammer. I might have a use for the jackhammer already outside. We have a more effective at the shovel than excavation, digs deeper and finds better items. So maybe it's just an upgraded shovel. That would be disappointing. What is that? Oh, that's the workshop, right? Yeah. This one's probably locked. No, it's not. The rotunda can rotate. We don't have the gems, the archive floor plan, or the dark room. The dark room. We have a card key door over yonder. That's right. The dark room, it's going to be random. This one. How about this one? That's the weight room. Oh, God. That ate 21 of my stuffs. We don't have the card key, right? We don't have the card key. We are going to run out of life pretty quick here, but not before we use our goddamn jackhammer. The key to the secret garden. I've had that before. I've not found the secret garden. A pair of gems. Okay, we want to make sure we can get back. Because we have the jackhammer, we might be able to jackhammer our way into something in the basement. Maybe. We do not have the card key, so we can't use that door. It's locked. We are going to use our silver key. The secret garden key. Does it automatically open it to the secret? Well, then we have to try that. Key does not fit. Okay. The chapel. We needed to see the chapel. It's going to cost us a gold. All right, so here we are. We have one. That's the hoe. 2 was the farmer? No, 2 was the chef or baker. 3. Well, let's double check. 1 is hoe, 2 is chef, 3 is farmer. 4 is chimney sweep, 5 is maid. 4 is chimney sweep, 5 is maid, and 6 is equestrian. So there's the maid and the equestrian. So the question is there something behind that we can't quite see? Like, is that supposed to be a registry of the queen? The statues we have. Was there one over the front door? One what over the front door? So that looks like a queen. That's a bishop. That's a priest. A stained glass window. I don't know. That's a good idea. I'll check. The circular window on the other side up top. That is the emblem of Hollyleaf. And because this is called Mount Holly. Mount Holly is the mountain peak that's out in front of the house. So that's an indicator of Mount Holly. But I'll be damned if I can see anything distinct like a person. Behind the window, or there's not a number. If you note, the numbers are little black circles at the bottom. There's no little black circle at the bottom. We can't get any further behind or anything. I don't think there are any clickies. Could the door be here after you move the statues? I doubt it, because that's an awful lot of footsteps to move around. So it would really be a burden to try and get any place else. It's a currency that you're always kind of limited by. Well, let's see if this opens up into the archives in a useful way. The maid's chamber. Not a dead end. It does reduce the odds of us finding stuff in other rooms, though. So this is a dead end. Is there anything above the door opposite the altar? We'll be going in there, and we'll be back in there in a sec. So. Guest bedroom. More footsies. So yes. 10 footsies. Yep. So the 10 footsies is a help for sure. Another coin stolen. It's the queen, and she's 7. How did I not see that? I don't know. I did think that I had done the queen as 7 in one of my attempts. Yeah, I thought I had. This counts as 2 bedrooms. Commissary, we don't need food. We need more footsteps. Oh, we didn't get any. Got a couple of keys, though. There's Gerald the gerbil. I don't know if he's actually a gerbil. Could be a hamster. Could be a mouse. Could be the bigger desert mouse. So I would rename him as Muad'Dib. Yeah, stop stealing my money. Oh, back into the foundation. I hope this doesn't take half of my stuff again. That would be really bad. It only takes 1, but it did tink. Well, we got a coin back. Yay. Okay, so darkroom, workshop, passageway. Darkroom, workshop, passageway. Right, that was. Oh, we've got 5 keys. The gym, furnace, or we spend a gem. It's a dead end no matter what we do. We turned off the lights in the gym, so that's now free, but it does give us access to 1 more room. And there's something in here. The car keys. I'd hope they allow you to drive so you could crash down a gate, but no, they just give you access to a note inside and whatever's in the trunk. The cloister we could conceivably go in, but there's no real cause to go in. 4 more monies. No, I think we're out of doors unless we can find card key. In this case, I will check an item. I'm going to check my jackhammer. So the next time I get this, I can get out the jackhammer, because that was 3 pieces. So we are going to head back to the entrance hall, and we're going to try the outside again. This will cost us a key, but it'll save us time. Yeah, a little time. No time at all. But it does mean we're going out past the utility closet. That's an advantage. So yeah. Well, you know, Senegal, I am the Lisan al-Gaib. We can turn the darkroom back on if we happen to end up getting footsteps somehow. We might be able to find something in the darkroom. I have found the keycard in there a couple of times. Hey, Kimmo, how you doing? I hope your week is off to a it doesn't suck so far start. All right, are they up or down? They're all down. Two. Three. Four. Well, somehow it just opened. And I got a shitload of coins. Maybe opening it had been triggered and I just got close enough over here that it opened stuff up. I have to. How am I? So the lady in the hot counter gave you food and said enjoy it, and then I proceeded to respond, you too. Yeah, it's real easy to get into that where you have a you get into a habituated response, and I'm sure they get that probably a couple of times a day. You now afford the cheapest of the luxury items. Yes, if I could find the luxury shop. More importantly, I think that I know where this leads us. I didn't. I like the oh so subtle arrow pointing. Oh, look at that. That's not ominous. Is this going to count as a room? Please don't count as a room. We have a map. The underground map. Oh, I have most of this map already and more. See? See? See, the excavation tunnel leads to the torch chamber. So I have more information than this. Ah, these guys are behind the times. You hear that, death? I like your weapon, though. It's totally sickle. Well, let's follow the bright white arrow. It certainly isn't going anyplace frightening. I'm sure. There's nothing to do here. Why are they this way to me? Why are they so mean to me? Let me in! Let me in! Sorry. Well, the skulls are very white. Is there anything I can do with the skulls? Really, I mean, come on. Great Uncle Sinclair, you were just buried upstairs. How can you just leave these skulls laying around? I mean, it's, at the very least, it's untidy. Somebody's got themselves a real upscale tomb, though. You can't see me. I can stay here forever and never die because death can't find me. Looks like we're done for the day. The logical in-game day, not the day. I've got another day or two in me. We have only 4 footsteps. We could barely get back to the house. We have 3 days left on the Blessing of the High Roller. Yep. So I'm going to call it a day. Looking up your notes like an old man's Google? No, it's not. It's like an old man's notepad. Because I'm taking notes. As if it were a notepad. It's just windowless notepad. The other door in the weight room was a card key. Okay, we got a lot of red rooms this time, so this is described as the Scarlet Inn. We did find one new room, obviously. I still have no idea how we solved the puzzle. But we did. Day 23. I am nailed to the hull. That's a really old guy Saturday Night Live reference that I would expect no one ever get. When Michael Palin of Monty Python would guest host, they had an ongoing Dickensian, a never-told tale of Dickens called The Life of Miles Cowperthwaite. You've never seen Saturday Night Live. Okay. Because you like Python, I assume, and you like Michael Palin, again, I assume, you could look up The Life of Miles Cowperthwaite. But also, from I think the very first season, there is a bit they did with Richard Pryor when he was hosting called Word Association. And it's one of my favorite bits of television in history. Okay, Toolshed will have 2 items. The Trading Post is if we were rich. The Hovel makes, instead of gems, makes them cost footsies, 3 each. So you burn through footsies pretty quick. We'll go Toolshed. We'll get ourselves a couple of tools. Because I'm a tool, and there are a couple of tools in chat, so I'm set. We have the metal detector. More keys and money. And the sledgehammer. We haven't had the sledgehammer for a while. Can shatter padlocks on locked trunks only. It can't bust open doors. Sadly. Now keep in mind that the word association bit on Saturday Night Live would have been in, like, I don't know, 77 or 76, something like that. And it raised some eyes. And their brows. They're concomitant browse. The utility closet. Well, I mean, I like the utility closet. It's a bit early for it. Because you always have to come all the way back when you need to get to stuff. We'll go with the den. As it gives us a door to the corner room. Gives us another gem. Plus, we can sledgehammer open this thing. And get the lockpicks. These can open locked doors, but they're more likely to open any locked doors down here than they are locked doors up there. The coat check. We can get the jackhammer. What do we have? Don't we have the shovel? Oh, we have the sledgehammer and the metal detector. And we have the jackhammer now. Almost. Just a sec. Give me the jackhammer. Do we want to deposit anything? We used the sledgehammer once. We've got a sledgehammer. Let's go into the next room. The commissary. The corridor or the funeral parlor? The commissary. We can work our way back here. The corridor. Let's go with the commissary. Corridors are better, if possible, to be saved for later. I really want to be able to try Dirigiblocks, but the machine apparently is plugged in or doesn't work. What can we buy? We could buy gems, the compass, if we had 6. A key. 1 key is 10 gold? It's out of 4 gems for 10. Nothing right now, thank you. But we have a couple more gold in here. The compass. If I had 6, I'd be willing to get the compass. The the pantry's a dead end with more gold. The nook has a key. The indoor nursery, whenever you draft another green room, 2 gems sprout in this room. I mean, it sounds okay, but not for the cost of a gem. And even then, we'd have to come back to get them. If we had that room somewhere in the middle where it was less expensive to run over and grab them, that would be different. 4 gold will allow us to get the compass, which will make north-pointing doors more frequent. So I'm going to grab the pantry and the money in here. And a banana. We have a nanner. Nanners are worth 3. They're also very good. They have a lot of potassium. I'm going to get the compass. Draw floor plans leading north more frequently. Okay. We now go back into the entrance hall. We have done everything that is doneable over here. Security. We like security. There's something of value in here. I heard a tink. There's no food, but I do see the gold. Okay, the security. We have a couple things we can do here. The keycard system. We don't have the keycard yet. It's operational. We want to set the security level to low. We'll get fewer keycards when it's set to low. The thing is if we had the keycard, we'd want to set it high so we would get more keycard doors instead of key-locked doors. The security level. The offline mode, we want to be unlocked. This means if we kill the power to the keycard system, it'll default to the doors being unlocked instead of locked. Turn to the security menu. It'll tell me that the password is Password is accepted, but none of the other nodes are open. Basically, there are four, that we know of, 4 computer locations in the house. If you turn on, for each one you have, you can then still access the things that can be done on the other one. Staff services. We want to make a special order. Sleeping mask, I guess. Approve the order. That'll come up in 1 to 2 days. Remote terminal access. It's possible to connect, but there are no other active terminals because we haven't found the office, the lab, or the shelter. We can't access the mail here. That can only be accessed from the office, unless the office computer was on, which case we could access it from here too. And then there's the data transfers has never worked anywhere because Cinca is not available. That's the company that our granduncle was the boss of. We have a few loose threads that imply bad things happened, but we don't know what Cinca might have been involved in, so we're going to log out. That's not the way I want to go. I want to go this way next. Storeroom, funeral parlor, or kitchen? Storeroom. White pawn in the storeroom. I think I've already got that noted. Hold on. White pawn in the store. Yep. I'm going to burn a couple of footsies. Find out what's down here in this corner. The nook will be a dead end. The closet will be a dead end. The observatory will be a dead end. Observatory might be good, but I don't remember what day we're on or what's up next, so I'm going to go with the closet because they're all dead ends and it's not worth redrawing. The redraw is going to be probably needed later. We got a key and a gem. We're down to 1 door. We may need that redraw right now. Archives. It has 4 exits, which is good. But from now on, we'll only be able to see 2 of the 3 floor plans, which is not good. But 4 doors outweighs the negative. There's something in here. Coins. At least all the doors are regular doors. They might be locked, but at least they're not key code. Yep, I'll start with this one. The observatory, the weight room, no on the weight room. The observatory will be fine. Cost us a gem. This 13 stars, 14 stars. Damn. So 14 we don't have, so maybe 12 and 2. Dead end rooms being more common. The key. And we'll get our present, so to speak. That's an apple. Apples today are extra delicious. Okay, it's a 3 combo. Plus 3 footsies. And a diamond. Chapel. We have 2 gems. Don't think we want to burn them just yet. The chapel is pretty good. It's going to cost us a gold, but it has a number of open doors. So in we go. How on earth did I miss the queen? I don't know. was the first notes I took. You think I'd have been complete? No, I wasn't. I was completely a failure. That's what I was. The hallway. The utility closet. Utility closet. Utility closet because we can kill the card key system, and we set in the security room the default, if they have no power, to be unlocked instead of locked. So this means now we can freely get into any card key. Card key entry is off. The gym is off. The garage is on. The VAC indicators, there's a little puzzle that opens up the wall and gives you access to high power, turning on extra power to the building. How we want security to be high? No. Actually, yes, we would. There would be more doors. That is worth making the trip for. Thank you for reminding me. No, you're exactly correct. It is exactly the way I described it. When you don't, if you have the key card, you want it to be high. This is a similar case I hadn't considered, that if you have powered it off, you want it to be high so you can get access to it. Key card setting, system, security level to high. Confirm setting. And the offline mode is unlocked. I hadn't considered the option of going back and forth, but you were 100% entirely correct, sir. While we're in here, we're going to try this door. The dark room. Well, we're right near security and the utility closet. We're going to go with the dark room. Right? That blows its circuit. We now head back to the security room again. Or the utility room, I should say. And turn that one back on. Which means now, when we're in that room, we can see which rooms we're choosing from. It's costing me a fortune. And find out, see if there are any objects in here as well. No objects. The objects usually end up here and here. Oh, I lied. We have the key card. We don't need it, but we have the key card. A quick look. There does not appear to be any additional new photographs here. The lab. Acquire a gem. Bedroom, whenever you enter this, gain 2. I don't think we have anything to make the laboratory useful. So I'm going to go with the bedroom. At least that'll give us a couple of footsies. I have a white pawn in the bedroom, too. Sink. Billiard room or the spare room? Billiard room or the spare room? I'll go with the billiard room, I think. In which case, we should either get 2 keys or the silver key out of the puzzle, but I have to check over here. Got 5 monies. I'm rich. Okay. +2. 18 minus 8 is 10. Times 4 is 40. Divided by 20 is 2. 2. Those colors changing on me? That's the multiply color. 20 minus 12. 8. Used to be you could only get the yellow in this ring, the pink in this ring, and the purple in the outer ring. So now it's colors. Okay, so 2 can't be minus 12. It's minus 10. Because 2 minus 12 doesn't make any sense. So 2, you're going to have to go from the inside to the outside still, but they're changing now what the color, where the colors can go. So 2 times 10 is 20, minus 12 is 8. 4 times 2 is 8, minus 7 is 1. And a silver key. A couple of times now I've gotten a silver key. Not responsible for any lost luggage, harm, or lost footsies. Exactly. We have the Nook. The corridor would be a dead end. The Nook would not be a dead end. We're going to take the Nook. Because who doesn't like a little Nookie? I apologize to humanity for that. We're going to try the lockpick kit. It worked. The walk-in closet would be a dead end. The office would not be a dead end, and those cost gems. I'm going to take a chance on the archived floor plan. It's the library. So, if you may remember, the last time we were in the library, I put in got the magnifying glass. And we also have our book that we ordered, The History of Orindia. So, November 29th, this is day which? November 29th, this should be day 23, if my math is right. It is. Okay, good. I wanted to double check. The Fen Aries Central Board of Education. This book was reviewed and cleared for publication. It has been edited to conform to our department standards, including the omission of sectors deemed inaccurate for or unsuitable for public dissemination. By Caleb Manning. We have another date number that I'm going to write down so that I can try that on any of the safes we run into. Now, there were these icons that appeared in one of the other books, and the page was torn, but Fen and Aries were both listed partially. F-E and A-R were both listed. The name used to designate the realms of the Eastern Waters is no longer known to the average citizen of the elder generation. We must permit our leaders to enjoin us to abandon our past. Just checking, you know. Maybe our magnifying lens, or glass, would allow us to read through the expurgated parts. Agera. Most historians mark the beginning of the first... let's move this over here and do a quick scan of the castle. Might there be information in the castle? Who knows? Most historians mark the beginning of the first era, often denoted as Agera, by the ascension of the first king Blank, whose name Horus would later grace the burgeoning township in which he was crowned. Give me a second. I need to see if OR is one of... No, OR... Ooh, possibly. Could be. Horus was known before his coronation as a prominent merchant lord of considerable means and affluence whose sway in the region made him the ideal candidate for the unification of surrounding provinces. Regrettably, history is not always forthcoming, and the surviving records of those bygone days are mostly limited to trade agreements and sales receipts. Nevertheless, we can deduce from these ledgers that Horus had but one aim: expansion. The territory spread forth from the heart of Horus, and by the end of the 1st century, a new kingdom was born. Second era, it was the 4th king, Blank, who split this vast domain into 3 equal shares, 3 realms for 3 children. To the eldest, he granted the fields and mountains of his great-grandfather, the middle province and the heartspring of his kingdom. The eldest accepted the gift Blank. To the youngest, he bestowed upon him the realm of Arch Ares, the land of the northern storms, wild and untamed expanse, which at the time was not as developed, but a good deal more vast than his eldest brother's lot. And to his middle child, his only daughter, he gifted her the southern region of Erasia, a land steeped in tradition. Erasia is one of them. All right. We've added that. What time is it? Yeah. The 3rd era, as the 2nd era drew to a close. Whoops. The 3 sovereign realms had achieved a period of remarkable progress and prosperity. Each of these distinct regions, ruled by their respective sibling monarchs, had blossomed, cultivating the bountiful resources of their lands and developing unique character and culture, set them apart from one another. Pardon the yawn. It doesn't actually say pardon the yawn, that was just me. Despite those differences, the sibling monarchs managed to maintain friendly relations throughout their lives and were known for their cooperation in matters of trade and transportation. The succeeding generations of their heirs continued that tradition. By the 3rd era was defined by blank commerce between 3 realms, further strengthening their bond and laying the foundation. And those are the images we already know. That icon looking like a mountain is Ares. That one is, I believe, Horus. Yeah, Horus. And that one is going to be then Erasia. Yep. Those are the icons we know previously. Is this on loan from the CIA? It's hard to know, man. The 4th era, as the kingdom, Blank, they don't even have a name, entered the 4th era. A different kind of ruler took the reins of power, King Desolates III. I don't think there was a Desolates. There was not a Desolates. We have a CO name that hasn't popped up yet. Those icons, I believe, were on the math test. Yes, they were. They were attached to the 3 banners that we needed the colors for. I think I wrote down those colors. I think. I'm not sure. I'll have to scour later. Desolus III was a king who was often seen drinking, a sight that shocked not only the gentry and the court, but the masses as well, as their king of Baron Sinclair. I'm not sure if that's our granduncle, great uncle, or his father. Thank you so much for your cooperation with our department and this investigation. We know our presence is never convenient. Okay, this is the Red Guard. That would be more like the CIA. We know our presence is never convenient, especially for someone of your social status. It means all the more that you not only tolerant, but willing to aid our efforts in getting this business done as quickly as possible. Right, so this is the book that we were told was censored in the archives. We're returning with this letter, the book you lent us, though I must confess it was not as much help as I'd hoped. I had heard that your library of rare and restricted books was quite extensive, and I was told by a reliable source that if a first edition and uncensored copy of the history of Arindia could be found, it would likely be within the Baron's own collection. But perhaps I was misinformed. Still, part of me thinks that you may have given me the censored copy as a jest, a taste, if you will, for the bureaucrat of their own medicine. If that is the case, I say well done, fair play, and perhaps on my next visit, we'll have a laugh about this after you've given me the actual manuscript. The king of blank, no one on to move, long castle, blah, blah, blah. and the city of Fen. Page. Third era. Wait. Oh, it's going the wrong way. Oh, that. There we go. Desolates was renowned as the king of no one when he made the decision to move something castle and court behind, presumably leaving castle and court behind. The people were overjoyed by this choice and were those that viewed the king's conduct to be unbecoming of his common folk. These voices planted the seed which took rot in the grand city of Fen. The era of ruin after the passing of King Desolates III, the fourth era, came to an abrupt end. Thankfully, the king died. On the very next day, the 6th of October, the Prince Learson of Fen declared himself the true monarch. His declaration was bolstered by a number of supporters due to the fact that Desolates IV shared little of his virtues. As the prospect of civil war seemed inevitable, the realm's regiments were hastily recalled from the frontiers to stamp out and put an end to the Fensurrection. However, instead of restoring order, what ensued was a savage and merciless campaign against their own people. The gardens of Fen, once a center of splendor, were transformed into a battlefield, and the cries of the innocent echoed through the city's streets, stained in red. The pacification of Fen, Morning Bay. The brutality of the pacification of Fen did not go unnoticed by neighbors. As sympathy for the city surged, allies came forward to lend support. Among them was a general of the Northern Regiment who, sickened by the barbaric actions of the other battalions, joined forces with Prince Learson to form a formidable army. Together they leveraged their political influence and favors to persuade the nearby realms of Arch Ares and Nuance to join their cause. However, even with the tide turning in their favor, victory did not come easy. The War of the Fifth Era lasted 22 years long and saw buried 1 in every 3 men. Prince Learson himself added a number to the casualties. However, even in death, he had won. Oris was fallen, and with it the realm. The black flags that had flown for 5 eras were burned, and in their place red banners were hoisted in honor of the fallen of Fen. The few remaining members of the former royal family fled in fear of their lives to the south, forever exiled. 6. The current era. Today, the realms inhabited by the 3, Fen Ares, Arch Ares, and Eraja, once again stand united as allies. That sort of looks, but not exactly looks, like the mountain, Mount Holly. Though the distance between our peoples has grown, our connection to this land remains strong as ever. The spruce and birch that span across our realms serve as a constant reminder that we all share a common past. Blank. For this, despite everything else, a land rich in history, a land of myth and wonder, a land that sprung forth the greatest empire the world's ever seen, the land of our fathers, of our mothers, and of our children. Blank. That's the entirety of the history of Orinda. Orindia, sorry. Not Orinda. Orinda is a city near me. All right, this door can open. The vault. Give us 40 gold, requires 3 gems. The conference room. Whenever items would be spread throughout the house, they are placed in this room instead. Off to deal with dinner. Best of luck. Thank you. Enjoy your dinner, Senegal. What are you having? I just want to. I have to know. I must know. It's going to have to be the conference room. We've got something tinking. We have a key on the floor. Okay, that's nothing new. Safe code 983, that has worked on none of them. But then we have been told that red notes are lies. The nursery, the West Wing Hall. We're going to go with the West Wing. We're going to save stuff that's further north. No, we've got a lot of keys. Card keys. Patio or the spare room. Spread gems in each green room. We have no other green rooms so far. The spare room should allow us to get up to tier 9, and this will be tier 8. The archived will get us up into Tier 8, which will open up any dining room. I'm going to go with the spare room. Guest bedroom, more footsies. The foyer, no, that does us absolutely no good. As you can't. Oh, that would get us up to Tier 9. 2 gyms, too expensive. I'm going to go with the guest room. We're getting a little bit low on footsies. And we have a gym here as well. Okay, so now we are going back down to the foundation. We have a couple piles of dirt. Do we have a dirt moving thing? Yeah, we have the jackhammer. Gems are used to draft special rooms. Very nice. Old tin can. Not worth picking up. Says you. I happen to collect old tin cans. I'm going to go down below the foundation. The basement door should still be open because we found the key. I managed to get it open yesterday? Day before? Day before yesterday, I think. This is the basement. There were a bunch of puzzles in here that opened up this. We need to get to the pump room to lower the level of the reservoir here because there are stairs down, a couple of different sets of them. And then there's stuff over there. Okay, there's nothing we can do there. I just wanted to see if there was anything else down here that we might be able to have access to. This room is still in the exact same state as it was, which means there's nothing really that we can do here. This moves it up or down, but if we move it up, we can't rotate it to a point where it's useful. I'll show you. So we can move it up, but we have no access to any of this. Because there's no way to rotate it. Here. We can rotate it. 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Which will give us access to that over there. Which allows us to rotate it again, I think. So 1, 2, 3. We can rotate it again 3 more times to give us access to another of these little nooks. What we got access to in that one. I think it was just information. Yeah, this is the map, the larger map. Oh, I can see if there's anything else on the map. I am dubious. Buried floor plan at 10. Where the hell's 10? Want to make note of that. That didn't show up previously. Buried floor plan. Let's see if it shows up somewhere else on the map that I'm just not seeing it. 10. Basement. There's a buried floor plan in the basement. apparently I can dig there because I have a tool for that. Okay, this was worthwhile. Just for that. Oh, I probably should continue to look elsewhere. If there is anything else I am missing. That's where we came down. That's the basement. That's 10. The boat, the reservoir, torch chamber, the catacombs. 6 leads to the tomb entrance. And we are in the rotating room. Alright, we have done everything we can in here, but I think we can dig the hidden floor plans. There was a couple of puzzles in here that I had previously done. Bells. Sandy Heights, 5 p.m. Right. Secret garden I haven't found yet. I opened the east lever to the antechamber. South lever is, I think, uses the broken lever. And it's in the greenhouse. A couple times I've had the broken lever. I've not been able to find the greenhouse again. Oh, we've got something there. North lever. Underground north of reservoir. Reservoir. Maybe I didn't see it. I will go back and look. See if we can find that. We've got more stuff down there. One backup lever for each antechamber door has been installed in a separate locations for redundancy. However, we've been told that the locations of this reserve system will not be disclosed to the staff. Because I think you have to open all 4 to get access to the 46th room, which is how you win the game. Well, there's no digging there. We'll roll our mouse around. I also wanted to see if I have the jackhammer. This looked like this was breakable. And on the map, it implies that there's a door there. But I obviously haven't done what needs to be done, what needs doing, what is needful to get that open. I don't see anything. There's no dirt on the floor or anything that implies that anything is diggable. This is the northern end of the basement. But I don't see nothing. There should be something here. I am somewhat confused. Didn't shout it. And buried floor plan. It's supposed to be buried in the northern end. I have no idea if this is like any functional thing at all. For instance, that one was, we know that, it had a green light you could push, for example. But the door is open. We'll go out. I don't know. How many footsies we got? We got 33. Okay. So we go back up. We've got some useful information we didn't have before. Well, we got some information we didn't have before. I don't know if it's useful. That and the chapel are the last doors we have available. We would like to use silver key, I think. Oh, lockpick first. Yay, lockpick! Courtyard or hallway? Courtyard uses one. We use the courtyard. We usually have. Oh, nice. We have dirt that I can dig. 3 gems. A lot of gems. Do we still have a sledgehammer? We do. 2 rerolls and 5 coins. Sorry. Hammer time. An old tin can not worth picking up. Curse that. There's no reason to be so mean to the old tin cans. Say that as an old man. Gymnasium is lose 2 footies, but I think we have turned off the power, so we'll only lose the 1 from going in, and it is set up in a good setup. So even if we were losing 2, that still would be worth it, but in this particular case, oh, look at that. It's a key card, but they're unpowered, and I defaulted them to be the office. That's not a great entrance. That would hurt a lot. We have no other real need to get into the chapel, so if we can just skip past the chapel. Or we can try that. No, I think we skip past the chapel. Because we're not going to get married. Dining room is probably what we want there. That's perfect. And we hit rank 8, so dinner is served, guys. We didn't have to hit the kitchen, so we don't know what the bonus room was. We've got the bonus room, I think, just once. This is like the baked shepherd's loaf or something like that. Country stew pie. Boiled chuck steak layered in baked to perfection, topped with a mashed potato Parmesan cheese crust. We've not had the boiler room, so we don't get the bonus. We get 20 footsies. I'll eat dinner. Oh, that was delicious. I love footsies. study or the bunk room. Those are both dead ends. Archive costs 2 gems. You take the chance. Wasn't worth. Well, we do at least have a date to try. On the, another date to try. Over here. 1979. Odds are not good. About 1 in 6. Nope, that's the only date we have taken note of late. All right, we're heading back to the dining room, the other end, entrance, exit, door thing. The boudoir would be... Workshop is better. Boudoir isn't bad, but the workshop is better. I don't think we have anything we can combine, but we'll see. There's the broken lever. Please give me the green room. Greenhouse. There we go, greenhouse. The lockpick. And the metal detector will make something. A pick sound amplifier. Okay. What does it do? I have no idea. Pick sound amplifier, greater chance of picking high sensitivity locks. Anything else we can make? The compass? No. Sledgehammer. Sorry. Compass off, sledgehammer. And the broken lever, and something else we don't know. The magnifying glass, the key card, and the broken lever. No. Key card and broken lever. No. Right, that's P is an S. Why is there an S? I'm gonna pick with the sound amplifier. No, I can't pick it. We're there. On the positive side, you doubt the police will really believe you're picking the lock with something that big. It uses electromagnetic inductance and quantum displacement. No, I didn't pull that out of my ass. Why would you ask that? Regular key. Drawing room looks pretty good. Drawing room looks outstanding. Worth a gem. We're in the drawing room, where we have discovered a safe. Again, we have a date we haven't tried. I suppose there's a date on this anywhere, is there? Or a date in the room anywhere? All right, we'll try it. I have zero faith. I don't believe. Nope. All right. We get a free redraw here. We don't like this. It's locked. Can't pick it. I mean, if I pick it, it won't heal. The greenhouse. Thank you. Please let me make this work. It wasn't the greenhouse. Oh, yes, it was. It was the greenhouse I was thinking of. The broken lever. That is the second of the doors to the antechamber. Been to the antechamber once before. From the eastern door. That is 5. The music 5. Where did I put the 8? I wrote the 8 down somewhere. Music 8. Music 8. Music 5. A watering can. The first time you enter each green room, use water to gain a gem. Does that include this? Oh, pair of ivory dice. 2 more rerolls. Worthless old tin can. I've been called that before. That doesn't hurt my feelings anymore. I'm stronger than that. Ish. Okay, we have 2 regular keys. I should have used the special key. The aquarium. Well, yes, I'm going to go with the aquarium. The watering can. Oh, I can pour it on the ground and nothing happens in here. Okay, that's worth knowing. I will keep that in mind that we only do that when we enter one of the green rooms. So, it seems that the aquarium has a different room set up. It's meant to resemble one of the rooms in the house. That's got to be the laundry. What meaning does it have? No clue. There are gems used for room drafting. The kitchen. The kitchen is a dead end. The bunk room's a dead end. I have rerolls and use them. The boudoir is not a dead end. Plus, it's going to give us 2 more rerolls. Boudoir it is. There is also another safe in here. I think I've misjudged, though. I think the dates I need are probably month and day, as opposed to year. Because the one I did get open was 11/28, 1128. I'm pretty sure I need to be looking for month and day dates. We want to be able to make a right-hand turn so we can go in the antechamber. Only been there once. Maybe it does something different when you come in from the south. I don't know. Oh, it worked. The lab will get us in. Which we will get into there in a sec. I'm going to check around. Right, that's Kimberly Thompson. This isn't going to work unless we have power piped in from the boiler room. I haven't seen the boiler room forever. The experimental setup is cool. I'm going to continue with the experiment. Whenever I draft a shop room, I have my choices. I can change the house in 3 ways. Whenever I hit it, when I draft a shop room, which are the ones with the gear symbols, I think. When you draft a hallway from another hallway, that's not going to happen. Each time you find trash while digging. Gain 3 gold for each room in your house. That seems like a lot. Yeah, these last across days. Permanently add 1 gold to your allowance. Gain 1 key for every 2 hallways in your for each red room in your house. I think each time we find some trash while digging, permanently add a gold to my allowance. Research logs. These are the two I've already got. Each bedroom you draft after your second. It spreads dirt on the driveway. That was an experiment when I didn't understand. I thought the dirt on the driveway would be useful when we had access to the garage. It wasn't. My assumption is it just puts dirt piles on there you can dig in. I haven't had a chance to confirm that. The other one is permanently adding a gold to my allowance, because that was non-conditional. Log into the network. I should have access now also to the security terminal. Not that I have anything I specifically want to do in the security terminal, but if I did, I would now have access to it. Security and office are both online. So I have access to both of their functions from here. I doubt that the mail is any different, but I wanted to check. Oh, spread gold in the estate. Yeah, sure, we'll do that. Back to here. Pause experiment. No. We've only been here. Interesting. It gives us the basement key again. You get it, I guess, every time you come in. Because that's how I got the basement open in the first place. Which my friend who finished the game didn't do until like day 40. I guess I'm smarter than him after all. Okay, probably not. This is the door we want to get open, because that gives us access to the 46th room and makes us the winners. I think we've got one room left, one door left in the courtyard. Oh no, we've got the aquarium, the other aquarium door. Let's see where we are on the map. We're more likely to get a path through if we use the silver key. The cloister. 3 gems, or the rotunda, which can rotate. Huh. I'm not sure if we ever done the rotunda. We've done the cloister. Cloister would give us one more room. Rotunda might give us one, but I don't know if we've ever gone in, so we're going to need that. Yeah, I don't think we've ever done this room. Looks like it only rotates in those 2 sides. Oh, maybe. No, we've got another open door. That's what I was hoping for. The indoor nursery, the bunk room. We've got redraws. Let's use them. Mail room or the hallway? Well, the hallway gives us one more room. So we're going to go with the hallway. Right? The mail room and the funeral parlor, or an archived room. Funeral parlor gets us a bunch more gems. That doesn't do us any good. Mailroom, package will be delivered here the day after drafting this room. That's something. Next time we get the mailroom, we'll have a package. We got a gem. We're rich. And by rich, I don't mean rich. But we'll get, like, you know, a couple gems, a key, some coin, a couple coins, something like that next time we find this. So we'll want this one early. But I think this is the first time we found everything. Pretty sure. So we've got 31 steps left. Courtyard. Basically, just needs to bear. We just need to bear to the right to get us back into the courtyard. Watering can. Thought that was supposed to, like, cause a gem to pop up. Maybe it's only when you first enter it. Each time you find some trash while digging, yeah. Alright, this is the last door. Mechanarium. Has one door for each. We have not been in the Mechanarium before, so that's another. An upgrade disc. We're going to want to hit one of the terminals, because we'll be able to add a permanent upgrade to our house. Oh, this is the Western. The first time we've opened the Western one. Silver key. We've got enough that I think I would like to go back to the antechamber and see if we can see a sanctum key. Well, we opened up all of these. This is a cool room. I like this room a lot. But I am going to work my way all the way back to the antechamber. That's like 7 rooms. And see if we can get out the other door. I went the wrong way. No, this is the only way I could go. Where are we going? The gym. To the left. Is there a computer en route? In the laboratory. Yes, in the laboratory. Right. here. The laboratory has a computer. Oh. I need to E to insert it, to wake it up. Scanning for I'll get to upgrade one room at random, and it's going to be the Nook. Currently, we get a key from the Nook. Been found on an upgrade disk. You'll now have a chance to upgrade it. Do we want it to have a second key? A key plus bacon and eggs. Or a key, and you'll always draw the library while drafting into this room. That's pretty useful. I'm going to go with that. Floor plan has been successfully upgraded. And now we come in here and we have a western door, which we may be able to open as if it's a regular door. Regular key should work. Oh, pick the lock. Okay. While drafting, you may spend gems to redraw the floor plan. The drafting studio, we've been to permanently select a new floor plan to permanently add to your estate's draft pool. Yes. The clock tower, the casino, or the solarium. Drafting studio, you'll be able to choose a brand new floor plan to permanently add to your draft pool. Permanent changes do not reset each day. Clock tower, tomorrow you'll start with a key for each room you draft today. Holy crap, that's a boatload of keys. Games of chance, that sounds fun. Solarium, you're more likely to draw unusual and rare rooms while drafting. Ugh. The keys sounds like a gimme. But I think the solarium may be more useful. Ideal for tea. It'll cost a gem. The casino offers an intimate and exciting setting for wagers of any scale, and guests may be surprised to discover how much strategy is involved in the games. Oh, that just sounds like fun. I'm buying 2 gems. That makes it harder to justify because the large amount of time we don't have that many gems. The clock tower, 1. Access to Mount Holly is the time is sacred, and any tampering of the estate's governing timepiece has never been risked. Oh, for each time room. Okay, it's not as good as I thought. Yeah, the creative devs, yeah, they did an awful lot of recreational pharmaceuticals. I'm going to add the solarium. Permanently added to my draft pool. We have another door. We have 14 footsies. The Great Hall partitioning plan for Sunday, November 29th. Ah, this tells you where the doors are in the Great Hall. Because the Great Hall is random as to where the lateral doors are. There are 3 doors on each side, left and right as you come in. There's a locked door directly opposite, and then there are 6 locked doors. And so this tells you which doors actually open up into adjacent rooms, as opposed to empty little mini rooms. Drafting strategy contents. The drafting spectrum. Right, okay, I know about that. Different colors for different prints. Violet prints are used when creating a bedroom plan, and so on. Red is for things like the furnace and the funeral parlor and so on. Most violet dreams. Bedrooms, violet. Synergies, nursery, servants' quarters, and the sleeping mask, right? Indoor verdure. Green room, shovel, and watering can. Orange passage, that's the hallways, yep. Hall pass. I've never gotten a hall pass. Golden trim. That's for shops. Negative space. The red rooms. Shelter, tomato soup, and skilled players. For instance, the dark room's not bad. But you do have to play around it. Pardon me. Prismatic rooms, the aquarium. It's the only one I'm aware of. Oh, interesting. The maid's chamber. You may notice on occasion, rare occasions, floor pans have more than one color. The rooms are unique in that they simultaneously share all the characteristics of each type associated with those colors. Okay, so it's a bedroom and a red room together. Well, because the dark room has the ability for you to run back and turn back on the lights. The fact that it's a three-way room makes it a positive, and it can often have things in it, but you have to hop through hoops to get to those things. Word from the editor. Okay. Just checking that there's nothing else here. We've got weird. We've got, this will be 40 rooms we've been in. The solarium. Well, we can go in the first time. Sure. Another room we've never been to before. No, well, I don't think the watering can gets me anything, but maybe. Oh, now I have to go to the bathroom. Just kidding. Mrs. Nogula, she was like the groundskeeper. Anne wanted me to remind you once again that it is expected of you to keep the grass in the cloister cut and the trees trimmed. I have a feeling you may have forgotten how to open the cloister wall again. So to save you some stern words, I decided to draw you a little diagram to help you get out. Who knows, maybe this time it'll stick. Cloister grounds access while face to face with the angel. Access the base. Jeez. Alright, hold on. Cloister. Big words, big letters. Cloister. Face to face with the angel, press the base of the two pillars on either side. That's it. Wow. If she can't remember that, she is not the sharpest knife in the block. A pair of old keys can open locked doors. A black pawn in the solarium. Chief and a chef. So the letter I? I didn't know that there were any letters in these rooms. Huh. I better check the previous room then for paintings. Also, we have a lockbox here that'll probably have keys or something in it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. That's the problem. I'm guessing green in the four corners, but it's just guesswork at this point. So those swap, those corners swap, those do nothing. That swaps. Those corners swap, those corners swap. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Oh. Huh. Get the four corners green, I think. How about click, click, click. Puzzles, puzzles, puzzles. Got it. That increases the allowance token by 2. So now I have an allowance of like 5. But we are limited in our stepsies. Do we have pictures? We do. Lamp. Lantern. Plane. Light. Light and flight. F. That makes sense. That's IF for those words, but we have 2 that are blank in the northeast corner. Are we going straight across? No, we don't have those 2. So whatever that may be, we don't know. If we, probably a W and an E, if we count small gates, 8 dates crack 8 safes. We count small dates. Let's see. So we're going into the lab and then the boudoir and the aquarium. That we know because we have no choice. Open up! We could go into the rotunda, but there's no cause. The drawing room and then the workshop. In the dining room. I don't suppose you had second dinners served up, did you? Anyone? Please? We're going to run out of steps before we can do anything else, I do believe. Yeah. Any more dirt in here? No? Nothing? You got nothing for me? Not what I'm to understand? The foundation. If we can get down there, I'm going to give one more look at the place in the basement where there's supposed to be something that I couldn't find. I think it's probably going to use our last footsie. Footsie? 0. No, it's supposed to be right over here. We call it a day. Well, I'm going to call it an evening. I want to thank all of you for hanging out, as always. I should be back tomorrow at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Oh, let me finish out the description at the end. Thank you for watching. Garden Manor. So we got all but 4 of the rooms this time. And 4 new rooms. This was a good way of finishing it up. So, all but 5 rooms. Sorry. So my plans for tomorrow are Guild Wars 2. Because it is the return of Super Adventure Box. If you're not familiar with Super Adventure Box, it is the most amazing seasonal festival content any MMO has ever done. Hands down. There's no comparison to anything. And I want to play some of that on the first day it comes back. And so I will. Wednesday, I haven't made up my mind yet. I might take a day off. I might be back here. I'm not sure. Thursday, I will have an early session for sure. Last Epoch is having its 2nd season, and a whole lot of the ARPG fan base and player base is going to be swinging into that on Thursday. And then on Friday is Defiance, a relaunch, and so probably a multiple stream day, some Defiance, some Last Epoch. Beyond that, I don't know until the 23rd when we get best game title of the year, Rail Gods of Hystera, which is still available as a demo on Steam, I think. But I will be back tomorrow at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand, with Super Adventure Box. Guild Wars 2. Again, thank you guys for hanging out. As always, I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you will see me soon. Have a great rest of your day. Take care, and